What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about Cargo Run. I actually haven't really covered this mode a whole lot, but I've been playing it a decent amount lately, and definitely deserves a lot of discussion. It's a really great mode, so I want to break into a little bit of that content here on the channel. So this is going to be a little tip and trick video, kind of talk about overall different things about the mode, some things you might know, some things hopefully you don't know yet, and this can teach you. And, just in general, just give you a whole rundown of what the mode is. So in the main menu under play, it'll be at the bottom of that list, so Cargo Run. Now, this mode actually has 3 pre-built lists, one featuring Exterior, that'll come with these units to start, one featuring Zax, that'll come with these units to start, and of course, one featuring Astra, which will come with these units to start. So hopefully when new captains get released, they will also get added to this. That will come with, another whole list of the unit plus 6 crew members. So that's something to look forward to coming up. Well, how this will work is you can pick a captain that you want to play with and a list, and again, these will always be the same. And you'll see at the top of this list here, you see these 5 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the progress through the run. So each cargo run is a kind of like a mini roguelike adventure. So what's going to happen is you're going to start the run on game 1, and if you win, you'll get a dot filled in here. If you lose, you'll just restart with someone else, and anytime you lose, you'll just have to restart with a new one, so you'll lose all your progress. But if you win, you'll continue down until you beat 5 bosses, which will progress you through this mini adventure. And in between each battle, you'll be gaining things that will carry over into future battles. So it's like a mini little roguelike experience, which is super fun. I hope they do a lot more of them. But to start, it's a really, really great mode. So you can always just look at the units that you're coming with, so you can prepare yourself that way. You can look at their cost and all their abilities. So I will start up a game here with Zax to kind of show you a little bit of what Cargo Run is all about. So in Cargo Run, you will have your list set. So you'll see I will drop in here, and then they will show you an enemy that's going to drop in on this side. Now the enemy is one of 10 different bosses. I will have a video coming out describing all of those bosses, but you'll see, just as like a regular game, you'll immediately get a list of assists to pick, and you will get a new list of assists to pick each individual battle of your 5 battles. So assist here, ship assist, will not carry over in between each battle of Cargo Run. So I will pick Corrosive Particles and Disruptor Beam. And as you see, the map will start, and actually there is no cargo down on the map just yet, but sometimes you will see some cargo falling down on the map. I will go relatively quickly here to show you. You see I shoot this boss and I will miss, but you can look, these boss models aren't any models in the game. There are 10 unique boss models. They're super awesome, and you can see their stats on the left side. So this guy is unstable. He has 40% reduced accuracy. He's a ranged attack of 2, but he can spend 2 Cinder to permanently give an ally in range +2 attack, which he'll typically do on himself. So he will gain +2 attack consistently, but he will have reduced accuracy. So now as you see this next turn has began, you can see some cargo dropping behind us. So these are little bonuses that you can actually pick up on your run. So in order to pick them up, I'll start with just shooting, even though it's a low % shot. To pick them up, you just walk next to them or place a unit next to them. If you're using Zax, you can't place a sleeper mine next to it. I mean, you can place a sleeper mine next to it, but it won't open the actual mine, or the actual box. If you want to see what it does, you can click on the box, left click on the box, and move up. This will stay here once you've clicked on the box, and you can come and read what this does. This says, add Drum Dancer Tali to your roster, and it'll tell you what that unit does. But as an example, I will move next to it, and you'll see not only does this unit get added to my roster, but it actually just comes out right now. So it comes out stunned. I can't use it this turn, but it comes out stunned and on the field already. I don't have to summon it or anything. I will summon this unit over here, and this is another tip here. You don't just have to pick up your cargo with your unit, with your captain. You can just pick up the cargo with your other units. So you'll see I'm clicking on these, and here are some interesting things. So this one says add Maximus to our list. So as an example, I'm going to move over here. This one was add somebody to my list as well. So you'll see that will happen. So I have now summoned the Bulwark here, which is great. Another cool little tip is you don't have to just walk or summon into them. You can actually use abilities like the grappling hook here to pull the cargo crate to crankbait here, and then I get the reward of that. Now, something like this, it says a small cargo. If you click on it and then come up here, it says permanently reduce the unit's cost by 2. So previously I showed you these are just the unit gain ones that I've shown here, but there are other ones that have different type of effects. Permanently reduce the unit's cost by 2. Now, it doesn't seem that useful when you're just summoning a unit here, but what this actually does, and you see I'll summon the Blindsider here, he will be a 0 cost if he makes it through this battle, which is any unit that is just alive on your board or still in your reserve or bridge will carry over to your reserve into your deck for the next battle. So if he still lives throughout this battle and he makes it to the next battle, he will actually come into that battle costing two less cinders. So he'll be free, which is incredible. And that's just one example of the type of buffs that you'll get. Hopefully we see some more as we go through this. And now that I've collected, and this is something you want to do, another big tip here, is spend some time in these first battles collecting some of these bonuses. You will see the opponents summon units that you should be familiar with if you've played the game before. So she is just a typical unit that you can use in your list as well with the grenades. So the only unique units will be the captains, the opposing captains or bosses. As you can tell, this guy's already building up to 6 damage. You'll also see sometimes examples of extra buffs where my mouse is here, right below the unit. That can happen from something like the cargo run that I just picked up, where you can grab something new to actually boost your unit. That will happen there frequently, but beyond that, each time you defeat a boss, they normally get some additional buffs as you go. So they might not get 5 additional buffs for each time you beat it, but there'll be some additional buffs. So say this guy could get rapid fire randomly, so he shoots twice, which is a huge pain. Things like that. They'll randomly get armored, etc. So they will have these moments where they become just these extra powerful bosses to make the game mode even harder. So I'm trying to just play through this moderately quickly, just trying to kill some units here. And just continue to press forward. Hopefully you'll see some other things drop, and then there'll be some more tips along the way as we get through this video as we see. And make sure you scan the map like this between, because you can really miss some cargo sometimes. Sometimes they will drop a cargo right behind. And as you see, these captains are nothing to mess with. Even though he's unstable with 40% reduced accuracy, he just one-shotted my Maximus. So my Maximus is now completely dead. And that's another tip. Just be careful of the bosses. Make sure you know what they do so you know what to expect. They all have very unique abilities and can catch you off guard, like, drastically. So I'm going to come up here and pull in this guy here, try to get some damage out on this unit. Try to start, really try to start finishing off some of these units. And start peppering the boss a little bit as I go. So higher shot here. Let's see. Deploy the sentinel here. Little sleeper mine here. Alright. So, and that turn. So we'll see what happens here on their side. See, this guy will continuously cast Electrolyze on himself to give himself extra attacks. So he's now at 10 damage. So he will start swinging. So you got to be careful against this boss because he can just see his percent hit was only 39. But he can just all of a sudden, you're feeling pretty good. Hero's at 20 health. He can drop you down to almost nothing, which is pretty brutal. So you see, he pulled us in. So we're gonna get hit there from that. So I'm gonna move this guy around. We're gonna try to do as much as we can to get these guys knocked down, and then we will see what we can do. So I'm gonna
stick to the plan.
Cast that. Battle Frenzy this guy. Put a sleeper mine behind, and let me just make sure I'm not missing anything, because another good tip is just to use extra unit that's not really in combat super well to kind of get around and do some scavenging on the outside of the map. So it looks like I'm good there, so I'm going to continue to just try to smack this guy as hard as I can.
Just look like you're thinking.
Gonna move this guy back here, try to keep him out of the way a little bit.
Got a tad on my mind.
Fortunately, missed there, and we'll end there. So again, I'm at 18 health on my champion here. He can do 12 damage, so it's getting spicy. So I'm going to want to keep this guy out of the backfield. But keeping other units closer to the enemy captain is a nice benefit. A lot of times they will swing at those instead, which is great. So I am going to actually push this guy back into the mine here. Get him to take some damage. Now, if I think I'm going to end the game this turn by killing this unit, there's some things you want to do. And I'll get to explaining that. I don't think I'm going to kill him this turn. When I do, I'll try to explain what I'm going for, because there are some very key things that you need to think about when you're going to end the round. So that's a solid miss. Still no other cargo, so it is kind of weird right now that no other cargo has dropped, because a lot of times cargo is dropping, you know, relatively quickly. We're not seeing anything right now, though.
Take a break.
So I'm going to try to move up here, get some damage out. I need to spend the rest of my cinder, so my blindsider gets additional damage. Alright, so now I've put this boss on 4 health. So this is where things get very interesting. So now, unlike a normal Moonbreaker game where you're going to expect to just start fresh at the beginning of next turn, this isn't like that. This is a roguelike mode, so your game is going to depend on how your run goes in general. So all of these units I'm losing right now are actually very costly. So I'm losing a bunch of units, which is going to essentially mean I don't get those units in the next run. But there are other things that you want to try to be aware of. So any unit that you keep alive on the board will move on to you in your reserves for the next game. So I want to make sure I have all these units alive. I don't want to take any unnecessary. Say they have a melee unit. I don't need to just take this unit, go over, smack, get retaliated on, and then all of a sudden my unit died when it didn't really matter that he was going to die. So you want to make sure your unit stays alive on the last turn. So don't take unwarranted attacks that are going to end up killing your own units. Make sure you're focused. You're not wasting that. Pick up any additional cargo that's on the map. Now, if something is already... say I picked up Gain Poison. That's another one. That's another option, which is really powerful. Say I picked that up with Zax, and he already has Poison. If it's there again, I can't pick it up with the same unit, so I'd have to send a different unit to go get it. But make sure you pick those up because they're useful to have on the rest of the run, whether it's just adding another unit now or adding a buff. The only thing that won't carry over with you is your assist. So if you pick up something that says reduce your cooldown of your ship assist by 1, that won't matter because you're going to pick new ship assist next round. So don't worry about that. But everything else should pretty much matter. So picking up unit buffs, some buffs will say give extra attack, extra health. We didn't really see a whole lot of those other than the reduced cost. So it's great that the Blindsider is still alive because moving on in this run, he will have a 0 cost, which is super good. The last thing that you need to think about when you're finished, when you're going to finish the round, is your Cinder. Every unit you have on the board will heal health equal to how much Cinder you have left. So that is a really important thing. I could easily say, oh, I'm going to reinforce and place a sleeper mine and do something fancy and add pummel. Don't do that. You want to have excess Cinder on your last turn because that excess Cinder will actually heal all of your units. You can, however, use your ship assist. They don't matter. So you see, I'm just kind of using this. If I know I'm going to end the turn, it doesn't matter. I can use my ship assist, and that won't affect anything. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here by attacking this final unit. And you'll see a orange glow will come on the units that are missing health. There you see Zax got healed, and there you saw Blindsider got healed. So they were the only 2 units missing health. I had excess Cinder equal to 7, which is plenty of health compared to how much was missing, and I'll move on into the next round here. So you'll see now, and the last thing I want to discuss here is actually the XP gain. So you'll see I'll gain 50 XP for finishing this match. Now that is only because it's the first match of the 5 that you have. So that's a very important thing. So now you'll see this star filled up, and now I'm past this, and I'm going on my next play with this would be the second boss, and now it'll be a little bit more challenging. Whether he'll have more perks or more Cinder to start, something will be a little bit more challenging through this. But the 2 things I want you to notice here is, yes, I'm done my first, so I have 4 more. One really key important fact is that all of these next battles are going to give you increased XP gain. So if you finish a run, you'll be getting a ton of XP, and you can do it relatively quickly. or you can do it slowly. You're not on a timer. There's no turn timer like in the main mode in PvP. So it's a really nice mode to take your time with, or if you really want to try to just get as much XP as you can to finish out that battle pass, you can kind of grind it out in here really well, which is great. So don't be deterred by, oh, I only got 50 XP. I want more than that. You will get a lot more than that as you play through these modes, as you play through each battle here. And the other thing I want you to look at is right here. My list is totally different than when I went in, and you'll see Blindsider, I picked up that reduced 2 cost. You see he is now a 0 cost unit. If I picked up Poison with Taria, or +3 attack with Arya, anything like that, you would see that here as well. But you see, these are the units. So I had this Aegis Sentinel and Novian Bulwark in the backfield, fully alive. They are coming with me to the next battle. Blindsider was alive. He's coming with me. The Drum Dancer was alive. And then the other two I didn't actually get to play. They were in my reserve hand still. So you'll see this will continue on. So now it's this roguelike experience as you go through these modes here, and it's super fun. And if you ever get sick of it and you're not liking your run, you can abandon run for whatever reason right underneath play. So that's kind of my breakdown of Cargo Run. I wanted to put out some more content. I'll kind of show you some runs in the future. Maybe I'll record the rest of this run at some point down the line and share that. These are just some tips and tricks that I want to show you to they aren't super black and white. Like, it took me a little bit just to kind of figure these little things out as I was playing the game. So hopefully you learned something in this, and hopefully you've tried Cargo Run, because it's a fantastic, fantastic mode. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, leave a comment for us. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We got plenty more Moonbreaker and other content coming along.